Hi everyone, Mrs. Ludwig here. It's assignment number 5, long distance learning. Hope you're having an okay day today. So today I'm going to take you through select problems in today's lesson. Please make sure you do not complete this entire worksheet. It's very long, it's not necessary. So make sure you do the assigned questions that are listed on Google Classroom and, follow along. Let's have a good time together. All right, let's do this. So number 1 is an inequality question. Don't forget, if there's a number outside the parentheses, distribute that in. So we're at negative 6x. A negative times a negative is a positive. Bring down the minus 1, less than negative 25 plus 6x. Combine like terms on the same side of the inequality first, which means these guys just get subtracted. So 12 minus 1 is 11. And then there's nothing to combine here, so we just rewrite it again. Then you go across the inequality symbol. So I guess I'll add 6x first. Remember, it doesn't matter. Whatever you see first is what we'll do, or I'll do because I'm the one doing the math problems by myself. And then my dog's here. Elisa, she's watching me, and there's my laundry. Okay, so now we add 25 to both sides. 36 is less than 12x. Divide both sides by 12. So you get 3 is less than x. So at this point, what we want to do, we solved it. That was part A. Write the solution in set builder notation and interval notation. Okay, so B, set builder notation, is the one where you just add the squigglies. So I'm going to do squiggly. X is an element such that, and then you just rewrite this. But remember, me and Miss Mulligan do not like when the number is on the left. So I'm just going to rewrite it. Pac-Man is eating the X, so it's eating the X there. Interval notation is going to be, let's do this. I like the number line first, even though that's like part C. It makes this part easier. So for argument's sake, there's no line underneath the inequality, so you know that's an open circle. And then the arrow follows the direction of the inequality sign. So that means it's greater than. All the numbers are greater than 3. The arrow is the same direction as the sign. So interval notation is going to be a 3 with a parenthesis, because the open circle means not equal to, parenthesis means not equal to, comma, and then we have an arrow, and the arrow means infinity. And that always gets a parenthesis. And that finishes off that one. At any point, stop the video, pause the video, get your notes down, get your thoughts together. Don't forget to message us with questions that you might have. Okay, so the next one I'm jumping to is number 5. Similar to number 1, you distribute the negative 2. That gives negative 12 minus 2x is less than negative 16 plus 2x. And then combine like terms on either side of the inequality. So again, I'm just going to start here. I don't know why, guys. I just always start there. Combine like terms. If you want to do something different, if you want to add 12 to both sides first, you'll get the same answer in the end. Then I'm going to combine like terms across the inequality. Oh my gosh, I just broke my pen point. And yes, I can see everyone's wanting to know. Yes, this is my daughter's placemat. Cute, right? Okay, I digress. So the negative 12 plus the 16 gives 8. 8 is less than 4x. Divide both sides by 4. So 2 is less than x. Okay, this was part A. Part B is writing the answers in set builder notation and interval notation. So set builder, you just add the squigglies with the X in the line. And me and Miss Mulligan like to switch it around so that the X is on the left and the numbers on the right. And Pac-Man or the alligator or the crocodile is eating X. So I have to make sure it's still eating X when I rewrite it. Interval notation, I think, is always easiest working off of a number line. So let's do that before we do that. So I have 2. There's no line underneath, so again, it's open. And it's similar to number 1. This sign is greater than, and it's going in that direction. So my arrow will go in that direction as well. And that means interval notation is going to have a parenthesis with a 2. If this were a closed circle, I would put a bracket. And then the arrow means infinity. So there's our second problem of solving inequalities. We're going to move on to number 8 now. Number 8 is asking, is x equals 3 a solution? Please don't solve it out. I don't know if you guys remember way back when we told you just plug in or substitute the number. That's the strategy here. What we mean is don't do the whole solving portion like we just did in numbers 1 and 5. Plug in the number and do order of operations. Use this as like your divider. Do not go in between there. So 6 plus 3 is 9. Negative 2 times 9 is negative 18. Bring down the sign, is less than. So we have negative 16. 2 times 3 is 6. Negative 16 plus 6 is negative 10. So now that we've simplified both parts, is negative 18 less than negative 10 a true or a false statement? And yes, you are right, it is true. That's not your final answer. Me and Miss Mulligan always emphasize that. Just because it's true doesn't mean it's your final answer. Is x equals 3 a solution? Yes, it's a solution because it was a true statement. So you'd say, yes, it's a solution. So now for number 9, we want to know if x equals 6 is a solution for this disjunction. Disjunctions have the word or. Remember, the word or, only one piece has to make a true statement. Meaning, remember my example, I went to the beach or I read a book. I only did one of those two things, but it's still a true statement. On the flip side, I went to the beach and I read a book. I had to have done both of those things. Both those pieces have to be true in order for it to be a true statement. So, and both pieces have to be true to be a solution, or one has to be true to be a solution. So let's plug it in. This is the type of problem where we don't want you to do the entire problem out. Use the word or as your divider. So this problem has nothing to do with this problem. So 3 times 6 plus 2 is less than or equal to 12. And then within this little problem, this is our divider. Don't go into that. So 3 times 6 is 18. 18 plus 2 is 20. I'm bringing down the sign and the 12. 20 is less than or equal to 12. Is that a true or a false statement? That is false. Okay. Then we have to plug in 6 to here. So 3 parentheses 6 plus 1 is less than negative 4. 3 times 6 plus 1. Okay, so parentheses first. 3 times 6 is 18. 18 plus 1 is 19. So I'm getting, just want to make sure, just looked wrong. Just want to make sure I'm doing this correct. This gives me negative 76. bringing down the sign, and then 3 times 7, hello, I'm not even on the problem, sorry guys, is 21. I'll write that all the way down here. Is 21 less than negative 76? And that's a big fat no. It's greater than. So the fact that both parts are false means that x equals 6 is not a solution. Because, that's your final answer, false or false makes a false statement. So if you'd like, we can write down some notes together. Let's write it over here. A true and a true is true. True and false is false. And then the reverse is also the same. False and true is also false. Then you have false or false, which is what we just did, which was a false. False or true is true. And then the reverse is also the same. True or false is also true. So those are all the scenarios. Okay, don't forget, pause the video at any point. Rewind it. And some word problems. Dun, dun, dun. Everyone's favorite. All right. AAA Taxi charges a $2.25 flat rate in addition to 65 cents per mile. Greg has no more than $25 to spend on a ride. How many miles can Greg travel without exceeding his limit? So we want to solve using an inequality. First is first. Don't forget, we want x to equal something. We have to define the variable. Read the last sentence. The let statement is usually in the last sentence. How many miles? How many miles is what we're looking for. So if you guys would notice, reading it again, $2.25 flat rate, no matter what, you get in that taxi, you're paying $2.25, in addition to 65 cents per mile. So the word per is there, attached to 65 cents. Remember, miles is x. That's our tip-off to know that it's the x that goes with the 0.65. Plus the $2.25. So now here's the thing. We know it's going to be something to 25. It can't be equal, right? Because it says we have to use an inequality. If you cannot exceed, it means you can be equal to or less. So at this point, we're all good to go to solve it out. So first, we combine like terms across the inequality. So we get 0.65x is less than or equal to $22.75 divide by 65 cents. This is the part that's very easy for you guys. So x is less than or equal to 35 miles. So how many miles can he travel without exceeding his limit? Don't forget, you have to write a statement here. A statement. You just have to give the final answer separate, because you can't say x is less than or equal to 35 miles. You have to say 35 miles or less. Okay? So you can't just say the number that you have to say 35 miles or more, 35 miles or less, depending on the scenario. Okay, and then the last question is number 14. And don't forget, the only assignment to hand in, you don't have to hand in the classwork. You're only handing in the homework assignment, and we're grading it for 2 points. Regular homework assignment. A local pizzeria offered a special. One pizza cost $7.50. A group of students spent less than $75. They purchased 3 pitchers of soda for $12.99. How many pizzas could the group purchase? So, don't forget, the first thing you should do is define your variable. And the let statement usually comes from the very last sentence. How many pizzas? Number of pizzas. Okay. So with that said, read it again. One pizza cost $7.50. A group of students spent less than $75. So that's actually pretty helpful. Less than $75 means literally less than 75. So that's all set up for me. They purchased 3 pitchers of soda for $12.99. So 3 times $12.99, right? And then it says how many pizzas could the group purchase? So if one pizza costs $7.50, and the whole point is to figure out how many pizzas, X gets attached to $7.50. Okay, so rewind that if needed. Now we're going to solve. So 3 times $12.99 is $38.97. The $7.50 gets rewritten. So now to solve, you subtract both sides by $38.97. So I'm getting $38.97, $36.03. So it's $7.50 times X is less than $36.03. Divide both sides by $7.50. Okay. So I just want to make sure I'm calculating everything accurately in my calculator here. Divide by the 750. Yep. Okay. So X is how many pizzas. The number of pizzas has to be less than 4.804 pizzas. Guys, it has to be less than like 4 3/4 pizzas. That's just silly. Has to be less than 4. So how many pizzas could the group purchase? 4 pizzas or less. So this one I like because we actually had to do some thinking at the end. Whereas with number 10, this is number 10, we were allowed to just use the 35 because there was no rounding. So that was really quick, where this one we just had to do a little thinking at the end. Okay, so don't forget, you are not doing the entire assignment. You are only doing the select problems that I typed out. We typed out only select problems. You are not sending us a picture of classwork. You are only going to complete the homework, which is 3 questions. Hand that in. We are looking for completion. Try every single problem, even if you just put a let statement. Do something, okay? That shows work. Do not leave any questions blank. Do something, and the answer key will follow. So you can figure these questions out with the answer key or message us, and we will help you through them. All right, enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Miss you. Bye.